What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show's favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day today. Now, it's called Get a Bucket, right? The show is. Y'all know it. Y'all love it. But today, we're not going to talk about hoops. Nope, nope, nope. We're going to talk a little bit about pigskin. That's right, that football, specifically the NFL Super Bowl, because it did just take place, right? We got to give some love. We got to give some love to the Eagles. They did their thing, props to them. My thing is this: one boring Super Bowl is what I heard about this one. And ladies and gentlemen, when I hear that something is boring, either genuinely it was boring, or a team got that ass waxed. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a dominant team in display, and that's just what happened. I'm sorry, the Eagles sat up there and beat they dog walked the Chiefs. Come on, little fella, they dog walked the Chiefs. So you have to respect the Eagles, and I think even going forward, putting them below any team to repeat, I think is unfair, right? I think it's a little bit unfair, but I get it too. But this one boring Super Bowl happened because this one dominant team beat the brakes off another one. So we have to give them they just do. So again, Eagles, tip of the cap to y'all. Y'all flying high. But next season will be a new one. So don't be too high on the hog, because maybe my Panthers might come in and try to surprise some people, including my damn self. But now I gotta talk about the Eagles NFL duo. They have a few people on the roster actually that you could talk about, but we have to mention Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Reason why? Because those two probably have the best chance at being considered a top tier duo in the NFL's history, right? The pantheons of the NFL. Like that's what we could be calling this duo right here. This one boring Super Bowl team boasts this tremendous duo, and both of them played well in the Super Bowl. So where can we put them? Let's say if they win another Super Bowl, right? Where could we put them? Could they rival Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce? Like, we got to start talking about these conversations, ladies and gentlemen, because again, Saquon, arguably the best prospect running back wise that we've seen since Adrian Peterson and them, right? Like that's the type of caliber cat that we're dealing with. I understand Derrick Henry is who he is. From a running back perspective, this man can catch and run extremely well. And Derrick Henry can just run. He's not the best pass catcher. And then Jalen Hurts, hey, bro, y'all remember his stint back in college, right? Y'all remember him coming into the NFL, people having question marks. Hey, you turned the corner, champ. Like, so now this duo, again, going forward, they got the swagger. They have the success. We got to start looking at them as an NFL duo, legacy-wise, going forward. They could be closer to Patty Mahomes and Travis Kelce than we realize. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, is that three-peat a myth? Like, will we in fact see a three-peat occur in the NFL? I'm a Laker fan, so y'all know my boys have seen it. I know the Celtics have seen it. How come we can't see it in football? Came close. Just too bad this ain't horseshoes. So I would love to see what teams, if so, could in fact break that three-peat curse. I genuinely thought it was going to be the Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. I genuinely did. Because after they win the three-peat, they could then go on a nice little hiatus from winning the way Tom Brady did. That would bring in a little more parity in the NFL. But it didn't happen. So it is what it is. But I do wonder if there is a team that can win it. And in fact, point in time, I still believe Patrick Mahomes could win the three-peat. If he does, that does help his case out for the GOAT conversation. So keep in mind, that is something to track. Plus, he did lose in his three-peat. So that could very well mean he got a chip on his shoulder to bring that, or those 3 chips. But I will be wondering and watching and figuring out if the three-peat is actually a myth. We definitely missed out on a moment. Damn it, Chiefs. Damn it, Eagles. Oh my gosh. But it's okay because we brought in some new moments. Let's follow with me, right? We have 4 black Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in the NFL's history, and that number just increased by 1 this season. Shout out Jalen Hurts. But we've talked about another black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Shout out Patty Mahomes. So we got to talk about the other two, and Russell Wilson and Doug Williams. Now, Doug Williams won his Super Bowl, what was it, 1988? And we know when we all remember the Super Bowl, right? with the Seahawks winning back in the day with Russ and them. So easily 2 good quarterbacks, easily, well, outside of Patty and Jalen, right? 2 good quarterbacks that we have to respect and tip our cap to. But these 4 black Super Bowl winning quarterbacks kind of gives me a few things to talk about. One, I love the fact that that number is increasing, and maybe we can increase it even more so, because now that shows just how much the game is truly evolving. Remember, quarterbacks were typically just white guys. Now you get white guys, black guys. It doesn't matter. Hell, it used to be they were just in the pocket. Now you got a mobile. Shout out Michael Vick for some of this stuff. Like, bro, we got a lot of stuff nowadays can be attributed to the black man. And I appreciate the evolution of the game because we are helping out in that. I'm not saying we're the key cog. I said we're helping out with that. Pay attention to the vernacular. Pay attention to the vocab, please. So with that in mind, I also want to point out this other part as well. Because I had a friend who told me we have not had a black quarterback win a Super Bowl since Doug Williams. And I just let him talk. Because, again, I told you we have 4 on the list. So that means we cannot be slandering Patrick Mahomes nor Russell Wilson for anything. End of day, they are looked at like African Americans. I promise you, if a police officer pulled them over, they're going to be treated just like African Americans. Now, yes, they have a little cachet to their name, so maybe they're a little treated with a little better. You know what I'm saying? But still, there's no guarantee. So they are black men, ladies and gentlemen, and I want y'all to remember that. And let's not slander Russell Wilson nor Patrick Mahomes because y'all feel as though they're not, quote unquote, completely black. Because if we're being real, nobody's completely anything. We all got a little mixture going on somewhere. So I just wanted to highlight that because it's important to me. I'm a black man. It is what it is. But I didn't want to harp on it too long because I did want to switch back over to the NFL parody side, which guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I mentioned this earlier. We have more parody now. We have more parity. So if the Chiefs go back and win 2 more in a row, y'all messed this up for us. Y'all caused this. All the fans who were saying, oh, we're tired of the Chiefs winning. We want to see somebody else. Fine, you saw somebody else, but now you're going to see a chip on the shoulder. Imagine them with the 3-peat, bro. They're cooling. Travis Kelce really ain't trying to do nothing. He got his. Xavier Worthy got one already. They know they about to get another re-up in a little bit. Y'all caused this chip on the shoulder by the Chiefs. So now I'm questioning the NFL's parity. Will we see the Chiefs continue to reign? Will the Eagles turn it around? Will this be the new rivalry of the NFL? Because we've seen them now in 2 Super Bowls. So could we see them back again? Would that be considered a lackluster Super Bowl appearance if we see the Chiefs and Eagles again? Like, I'd be curious about that. Because now if people talked about the Chiefs and Eagles or the Chiefs winning 3 in a row, well, are y'all tired of seeing them in back-to-back Super Bowls? Just saying. So I'm curious about the NFL parity as a whole now. Because a motivated Chiefs, quite scary. And we got to see if they get any new tools. Like, come on now, bruh. Like, y'all really think Patrick Mahomes, one, ain't going to go into the offseason and get in the lab? Travis Kelce not going to hit the time machine. Xavier Worthy already showed you what he could do. Come on now, bruh. They run game was trash. So watch them get a running back. Like, the Chiefs are going to find something to help out Patrick Mahomes. And if they don't, they just got to the Super Bowl with the team that they had. So let's say they improve naturally as a team. It's not out of the realm of possibility they could win it again. I'd love to see that. And then the Eagles, well, they got egos, right? Will they be fine going forward? Because when you win, you do have a target on your back. So with the egos, with all the parades, right? Will they get back on track come next season? Now, I do expect them to be on board, on brand. But on the flip side, too, there is something that's nagging me a little bit. They wide receiver core, right? They have good wide receivers, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all really peeped that or not. My thing is this. Y'all heard me talk about Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, right? NFL duos, talking about legacies. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, right? If that's the case, well, who gonna let Devontae Smith and AJ Brown know that they might be out of the loop when history tells this story? Like Saquon and Jalen Hurts legitimately could be talked about quite high. Like when we talk about the Patriots losing to the Giants, we don't really talk about the entire squad. We talk about Eli and who was it, Plaxico Burress? Like, come on now, dog. It's not that many people that you talk about. So when we talk about this Eagles Super Bowl winning team, like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, y'all might not get that love. Hell, Jahan Dotson could get the similar love as y'all. Like that's a legitimate thing. So from an ego perspective, stuff like that, I do worry about. I do wonder about. Because y'all got to remember, these boys, these guys, these grown men got here because of their egos. Their egos are helping is what helped put them, along with their hard work, in this very position. So if they feel some type of way, I can't blame them too much, right? So again, curious about their egos. But overall, NFL season won't that bad. It won't that bad. I'll tell you this much. It was more entertaining than the damn NBA, y'all need to tighten up. Oh my God. Y'all messing up. Because the NFL gave us a good season from start to finish. I ain't gonna say I was the most excited, but bro, it was a good season from start to finish. So if they can continue doing this, it'll be great. And then just a couple key things, right? We got the Eagles, the pros from the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts. Because, hey, dog, I did not think you were going to outplay Patrick Mahomes, and you did. Now, your team definitely helps out, but I also think your team was comparable to the Chiefs, so I can't give that as an excuse. I thought your team was arguably on par with the Chiefs, meaning I thought the Chiefs, talent-wise, could be viewed as similar. And y'all just proved, hey, it might be a little different. It is just one game, but it is the Super Bowl, so we can't just say it's just one game, right? So Jalen Hurts, it hurts to say this a little bit, but you did your thing, bro. You played like a true professional. Shout out. The wide receiving core as well. I just talked about how their egos could get in the way, but they did a good job in the Super Bowl because guess what? Saquon did not run amok against the Chiefs. The Chiefs did a real good job against the run defense, against the run game. Wide receiving core had to make sure that they did their things. So Jalen Hurts and the wide receiving core did their jobs. Then the run game was about 2.5 times more than the Chiefs. So all of this, you gotta really talk about the O-line. Because without the O-line being so damn strong, they couldn't have had a successful run game, which means that the wide receiving core might have been a little suspect because Jalen Hurts wouldn't have been having the time to throw the ball as well as he did, as long as he did. So again, shout outs to them. Cons, the fans, I guess. Like the cons was the fact that they had to play the Chiefs and waste our time. Like there were no cons. I was not available. I have not available, and then fans right after that just trying to be funny because they really had they did nothing wrong. Now the Chiefs, the pro was Xavier Worthy because that brother was dominant. All right, what's he, rookie first year? Like that man was running his ass off. His ass is still on the field. The word on the street. Like he did his thing. So pro. Outside of that, nothing else from nobody. The O-line was trash. Patrick Mahomes sacked 6 times. Disgusting. I don't know how that happens. That needs to be addressed go next season. The run game, non-existent. Now, I understand the O-line. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the game of football is won in the trenches. That means the offensive and defensive lines, right? So with that being said, if you letting your quarterback getting sacked 6 times, what makes you think there's going to be a run game to be had? It was non-existent. O-line, y'all got to tighten up. And then Patty. All right. I mentioned the O-line being trash, right? So cool. We'll let you have that one. But bro, you had 2 interceptions and a fumble. That's three total turnovers. I understand you got 3 touchdowns. Fuck that. Like, we got to talk about the three total turnovers. Or was it 2 total? Or was it 2 total touchdowns? I don't know. Either way, it's 2 to 3, and that's a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm not really liking that, Patty. We got to up that a little bit. I understand the O-line was a little trash. The turnovers, the interceptions might not have been completely your fault, but end of day, if we gave you the success, we got to give you the blame too. So I'm not going to put 100% on it, but you did not have the best game. So that's got to change. You got to be the dominant force. Unfortunately, sorry. It's unfair, but life's unfair. So going forward, ladies and gentlemen, the future of the NFL, it could very well be interesting, right? The 2025-2026 season could very well be interesting. Do we see a repeat of the Eagles and Chiefs? Hell, could we see the Ravens finally make some noise? Are the Lions going to make something shake? Can the Bengals do something? Like, it's a couple of teams that can make some noise, but we'll see what happens. Also, I mentioned this earlier. Will this Chiefs-Eagles squad be the next great rivalry? We'll have to find out. They've met twice in the Super Bowl already. So, I mean, if we meet a couple more times, we starting to get along the lines of basketball realms now. Damn, like, that's just saying, we got to follow this rivalry now. The Eagles, do they have an easier road than the Chiefs point in time? Because, well, I mean, you got the Lions, you got the Commanders, you got a good amount of teams. But again, on the other side, though, it does seem to be a little stiffer competition. So can we make that noise? Also, the Chiefs, like I said, do they have a chip on their shoulder? Will something like that truly matter? I think it does. But at a certain point in time, too, other teams have got to have chips on their shoulders as well. So, like, other teams have got to showcase something, bro. Like, the Chiefs cannot win next season to go back to the Super Bowl. Chiefs cannot do that if you're an AFC team. They cannot. If they do, a few trades have to be made because y'all are piss poor at this point in time. Also, and I mentioned this, how do the Eagles deal with the targets on their back during the regular season and divisional games next season? Because again, I don't think they had a target on their back specifically. This upcoming season, I think they do. And we've seen how they dealt with the Super Bowl loss. The next year, they were cool until they weren't. So there is something in that locker room that can change. So I'd be mindful to note that as well. But that's what I'm paying attention. That's what I want to pay attention to. Also, the Chiefs. Do they still get my money on sports betting? Do they? Because I don't have a reason to not bet against them outside of this Super Bowl. And again, that's the last game. So we're talking about if the game went differently, they could be champions. Like, I ain't going to put my money against them. Like, have they done enough for me to say, nah, I can't put money on the Chiefs? I don't know. Because I still feel comfortable in putting money on them in sports betting. So I got to see. Have the Eagles gained my confidence in sports betting? They've gained a little bit more because they were actually hooping. I'm talking about putting belt to tail to a couple teams. Like, damn, did y'all see the way they beat the Commanders? Commanders were young. Did y'all see the way they beat the Commanders? Like, oh my God. I was leaving Houston, going back to the DMV. Got, whoo, God damn, they beat that ass, boy. Like, Commanders fans were not happy. They settled for being that far. And then, and yeah, but finally though, ladies and gentlemen, do the Patrick Mahomes GOAT conversations slow down? We've seen what Tom Brady has done, right? We've seen Patrick Mahomes go up against Tom Brady. I've even seen depictions of the worst Super Bowl losses in NFL history, and Patrick Mahomes has 2 of them up there. Do those GOAT conversations slow down any because of this loss? I think they could. So I'm very interested to see how much that conversation going to change a little bit. Does that help with the parity of the NFL? Will the NFL deem Patrick Mahomes as less marketable now? Like, stuff like that, I would love to pay attention to, because we've seen CJ Stroud and Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels and a couple boys out here trying to hoop, right? Even Bryce Young was starting to become better at the end of the season. So with the right tutelage in place, with the right teammates in place, these young guns, maybe not Bryce Young right now, but these young guns can get the job done. Hell, don't we still have Lamar Jackson? Just saying. So those GOAT conversations, definitely going to be paying attention to those. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I do hope that you had a wonderful time listening to the audio. I do hope you had a wonderful time watching the Super Bowl. It's a good one. And I do hope that you do tune in next time and listen as we talk more sports. But please like, subscribe, comment, tell anybody who's anyone about my show. My name is Trey Wilder. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you are all having a good one. Take care.